Thank you for showing interest and coming up for the session. And I'd like to warmly welcome once again our two main speakers of today's event. We all know that today we're going to be building with AI. So please endeavor to pay attention to every single concept that's going to be shared. I know we're going to share a lot, and I don't want to waste any of our time. We're going to be sharing a lot from the two speakers, and we shall hear uh, a lot of things that you didn't know about. Yeah, we always come to these sessions to learn new concepts or maybe sometimes to just elevate our knowledge in particular concepts. So we've been building, we've been working with some AI or some machine learning in the previous sessions, but now here is an opportunity for us to learn how you can seamlessly elevate your development skills, and we're using the Gemini API or Google AI. So I expect be so open to learning and open up your minds to pick a lot from this session. I know from after this session you will have a very interesting journey as a developer or as someone who builds products. Thank you so much. I would like to take this microphone. Before I leave, we are having a lot of stickers here that are enough for every one of us. So please be try to be attentive in the session, because we shall be giving them out in the middle of the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Phil, for the beautiful remarks. Members, if you're not jealous of please, you can join me and clap for Mr. Simple with Phil. Thank you. Without wasting a lot of time, allow me to invite Mr. Wesley to take us through today's session. Thank you.
I hope this gets to work. I don't know how loud it is. So good afternoon. Good afternoon. You guys, I know it's cold, but try to warm up. So, how's AI? How are you guys finding AI from the last time I was here? How many people attended the last session when I was here? I need to know those that starting with and those that are new. Those that were here. Oh, so the rest of you guys it's your first time, right? Oh wow. Interesting. Alright, but we're here to talk about AI. Under the Build with AI campaign. The Build with AI campaign is under Google, and it's a campaign to enable us to spread the gospel about artificial intelligence. The last time I was here, I ended my presentation with a quote from Google developer expert Robert John, and it said that machine learning is the future. The future that we envision, all the things that we want to achieve, we are going to achieve them through AI, through machine learning. So this is Google trying to say, all right, let's support the people, let's support the communities to be up to speed with AI, right? So under this Build with AI campaign, we get to talk about Gemini. So Gemini, that is the state-of-the-art multimodal AI model from Google. Multimodal, I'll talk about that a bit later, but it's the state-of-the-art model from Google. you can liken it to like GPT models. So OpenAI has the GPT models. You guys are using ChatGPT, which is powered by GPT 3.5. For people who can pay like $20 a month, you get access to GPT-4, and GPT 4.5 is on the way. So Google has Gemini. Formerly it was called Bard. For people who may have used it earlier, as it started out, it was called Bard, and then they rebranded it to Gemini. So under this Build with AI campaign, we get to talk about Gemini and other techniques around Gemini. Okay, so I'll be talking about the intro bit. The intro bit has what we call generative AI. And generative AI, this is where Gemini and other generative AI models like GPT, Mistral, LL Llama from Facebook, that's where they come from. So I'll first introduce you to generative AI. And then my colleague here, Hussein, will do some bit of demonstration about the Gemini in the Google AI Studio. I'm aware that your lead here already got access to the the Google Cloud credits. So you can try this within Google Cloud and do what will be done here. And then once this is done, I will tackle a very important topic when it comes to generative AI, and that is prompting, right? Writing prompt. So every time you write something, when you ask in ChatGPT or Gemini, that is a prompt. So there is now a skill that you must have if you're going to use generative AI, and it's called prompt engineering. Okay? So I'll talk about that in a bit. So for this, like I've said, we're going to use the Google AI Studio. If you want, you can actually get right into it. aistudio.google.com/app. But that will be his playground, right? But you can just load it and start playing around with it. You must have a Google account. That is your Gmail. Okay? But if your university emails are using Google Workspace, then they can work. And then we'll be able to create an API that will give us access to this studio and the resources that we need. And then we'll also go through a quick start where I will demonstrate what prompt engineering really is. Okay. So, what is generative AI? Last time I was here, we talked about AI, right? Or at least someone has an idea about AI, artificial intelligence. But now we have something called generative AI. We can put together the two words, generative, then AI, and come up with the plausible answer. And anyone has an idea? Yes. Okay. All right. Any other idea? Come on, you guys are using ChatGPT to get A's and whatever, do your research for those that are in the final year. I know no one is writing their homework. But of course I won't tell you which ones, but I know. So what is generative AI really? With the current state of AI, okay, we have, last time I talked about that we have machine learning, and that is getting traditional, it's getting outdated a little bit. Then we talked about deep learning, where we are using neural networks. Okay, we build neural networks, and these neural networks are built to mimic or to work like the human brain works. So now you have these neural networks. What we are doing to come up with generative AI is that we are using these neural networks to generate new content like text, images, videos, and audios. That's the generative part of it. Okay? We've been using neural networks to make predictions. Like, for instance, what is the temperature for tomorrow based on the average temperatures that we've got? I've given you an image that contains a cat or a dog, and this neural network will be able to predict and say, oh yeah, this is a dog, this is a baby, you're walking, sitting, and all that sorts of artificial intelligence, right? But we hadn't reached that point where we can get these neural networks, feed them with a large corpus of data, that is big data, okay? Feed them almost the whole internet. For instance, ChatGPT or Gemini is trained on the whole internet. If you've ever sent a tweet, if you ever made a Facebook post, if you ever written a blog, if you ever made something on the internet, then these models have been trained on that data. Of course, definitely they don't have to ask you because some of the privacy laws that we have do not cover some of our countries. Okay, so they just pick your data and use it and train these models. So when you train these neural networks on a very large corpus of data, okay, now the task is, can it generate it again? If I gave it a question, can it respond? If I asked it to autocomplete a sentence, can it do it? Because it has learned from a very, very big data set. Okay, everything that you can possibly write, your neural network has now learned. So that is essentially what we mean by generative AI. You feed this neural network with a lot of images, any image that is available on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your Twitter, on your, wherever you put your images on the internet, even including your cloud storages like Google Drive. You know, yes. You can just always upload your images and put them on Google Drive, you put your documents on Google Drive, you put them on iCloud, but you don't understand the terms and conditions. The terms and conditions puts that data in Google or Apple's hands to use as they deem fit. Okay? So your images, your videos, your audios, you guys like to send audios on WhatsApp, and you don't know whether they're being stored by WhatsApp or Facebook. You don't, right? So we've seen, last time I talked about the bit where one Ugandan sat down and tried to play around with a Zawi song by putting in radios part. That was generative AI, right? Being able to teach a model how radio sound, then giving it lyrics or words, and then brings out something in radio's voice. So all that is generative AI. You see Mini Journey, you can try this out. You can generate images from text. A while back, OpenAI brought what they call Sora. So Sora is their version of videos. You can write a prompt and it will generate a video out of that prompt. You could say, I want a video of young boys playing, football in the pitch. And, at the end of the video, I want to see one of the kids scoring a goal. And then it will generate 15 seconds video with that happen. Okay? So this is just what we mean by generative AI. Now, generative AI comes at the time when we have what we call LLM, the large language models. And that is essentially Gemini, that is essentially GPT, that is essentially Llama, that is essentially Mistral, and all these are very big large language models that we have. And what they do is, in generating the text, we have, I could say, it's trained in cats and that is you as a human, because we've learned this, we've spoken this, we've said it over and over. That's why when I say it's raining cats and, you already know that I'm supposed to say dogs, right? So we're also trying to test this with our machines. If we train our machines with this data, with this information, are they able to generate it again? Okay? So that's what large language models do. When you go to Gemini, for instance, you could open your tab on your browsers and open Gemini.google.com and just ask it and say, training concerned, and then to auto-complete it. Okay? For instance, when I say roses are red, as a human, what do you put next? When I say roses are red, yes? Please speak up. Come on. Roses are red, violets are blue. But this is something that I've learned, right? Or I've read somewhere as a human. And so I have it in my head. If we get that data and supply it to a large language model and it learns, the question is, can it be able to generate when I just write roses are red? Okay? And this is what it will do. Roses are red, violets are blue, and sugar is sweet, and blah 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 blah, and complete the poem. Okay? So do you get the idea about generative AI? Do you get the idea about large language models? Do we? Yes. All right. That's it then. Good day. We are done. So, large language models have also been trained on large corpus of your code. How many of you use GitHub? GitHub? Wait, 3 people? Okay. All right. How many of you are doing computer science? 4, 5, 6. How many of you are doing IT, information technology? Okay. Now I need to first understand something. The group here, can I just, it's going to help me to talk to you. What courses are you doing? What are you doing? What? You don't want to say, and you put a phrase behind. Yes, sir? You do? What program do you do? Okay. Medicine. Okay. Interesting. Anyone else doing medicine? Business? You have guys have business here? Okay. Good. So you're doing computer science, honestly, and you don't have a GitHub account. I'm sorry for you. Really, really sorry. Because I don't know how you're going to convince people that you can write code. Everyone knows Facebook, right? You go, you post your pictures, you post your whatever, and that's you, right? You see your photos, we read your thoughts, and that's you, a social being. But when you want to be a programmer, you want to be an engineer, we want to code, and GitHub is the social media for programmers. You post your code and I look through it and know that, oh wow, this one is writing Python, you're writing C, you're writing JavaScript and all that. So you need to try out GitHub. But the point is, the fact that we've been uploading, or we call it pushing and committing our codes to GitHub, okay, and other code repository sites like GitLab. These large language models have equally been trained on that code. Okay, so they are capable of now generating code. If you want Gemini to write code for you to do a login page, it will do it. If you wanted to generate code to, give you a mobile app screen, it will do it. Okay, so it means you don't have to write these things anymore. Okay, do you guys also still write code on paper, like in your exams? You do? Yes. Should be now very good experts. That's where we come from. Those are my humble beginnings. Writing code on paper, instead of writing on a computer. But you can imagine the process that you have to go through to write that code. Because you have to write it as equally debugging it in your head. Because your lecturer will look through it and understand that it can work, it can run. So, because we've been posting our codes online, we're able to train our large language models and they're able to generate scores. And then we have now the modern large language models. So we started out with the large language models. We've had ABAT from Google, we had GPT-2, we had BAM, and then again BAM2, we had LLaMA, we had these different large language models. But now they're being improved and they're now modern. At start, they were generating text. Okay, so it was either just one model to generate text, one model to generate images, for videos and audios that just come up recently. But with the modern ones, just one model like this can generate everything. Okay, so you have GPT 4.5 that is coming out. It's able to generate text, it's able to generate audio, it's able to generate videos, and it's able to generate images. Okay, so they're now modern. If they were trained on at least like 7 billion parameters of text, they've also been trained on like 7 billion images. They've also been trained on like 7 billion audio clips. They've also been trained on 7 billion, of any other type of data that you want to generate. Okay, so now they're modern and they are bigger and they are efficient. And that's why I say that Gemini is state of the art. It comes with these capabilities within it. Okay. So the classic natural language problems that we always have is we have text and I want to extract that text. Maybe it's from a PDF, maybe it's on paper. You might have used your phone to just take a picture of something on paper and then be able to extract that text into digital, text. We have sentiment analysis. This is being used. It's been used for a long time now, especially in security circles and finance. We understand what you're trying to talk about. We understand how you're trying to communicate. For instance, when you go to Twitter and you post and say fire, there should be someone doing sentiment analysis somewhere to understand in what perspective are you posting fire. Is it that there is fire at Calvary, or you went to a club last night and now you remember to say it was fire when you were in the club? Okay, you're trying to understand in what context is someone saying something. Then you have translation. You use translation, Google Translate, Apple Translate, summarizing, classification, and all that. Okay, so the prototyping that's going to come in. So as a user, let's say, could you be able to explain a joke? If I said I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now. That is a joke. That's a joke. Say I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now. And it's a joke. Can you be able to explain it as well? Because you need to understand its origin and how it's being used over and over. When do I say this joke? Okay? But because we have large language models that are being trained on this particular information about its origin and about how, in the context in which it's used, then it's able to explain the joke. And it will tell you the joke is a pun on the word free. So it will probably have two meanings. To be free of debt or other unwanted substances, or to be free of addiction. Okay. So for instance, you've been addicted to drugs. I hope guys are not addicted to that. You could use the same joke and say, I used to be addicted to soap, but now I'm clean. I used to be addicted to crack, but now I'm clean. I used to be addicted to alcohol, but now I'm a teetotaler or something. Okay? So you as a human, when you tell me that, I have to process and try to understand how you're delivering that joke and the context. And yet, large language models are doing that. Okay? So this is, give me 5-minute ideas for a science fair project. You guys, for those who are in third year and you already know about these large language models, you could use ChatGPT, Gemini to generate research ideas. You don't have to suffer. You just get that raw idea, the raw topic in its form. Give it to Gemini to refine it for you. It's not copying, it's not plagiarism. That's something different, but to help you refine your ideas. Okay? And so you can use Gemini, you can use any large language model to be able to get about projects that you want to do for your research, or even home projects, ideas. It could be home. Sometimes we grow up home and your dad will be like, all right, guys, we need to do this. I want you to go and think about it. And tomorrow, when I'm back home, I want you to explain to me how we're going to solve this problem. So that is something that your kids will now be giving to AI. And then they will tell you, Dad, in 5 minutes, I'll be back with the solution. And then they go to the next room and do that. So the question is, why are large language models different? Why do we have GPTs? Why do we have Gemini? Why do we have the Mistral models? And these are the names that I can mention offhand. But the truth is, there are so many large language models that are being developed every day. And most of them are open source, which means they are available for you to use. Twitter has Grok. For people who use Twitter, they have their own large language model called Grok. Okay. So the question is, why are they different? Okay. The immediate abilities and the ability to perform the tasks that were not present in smaller models. Okay. Like I said, most of the models were just doing text. But even at that point, because we didn't have this bubble, companies at some point feared to train their models on large corpuses of data. So they would kind of, like, for instance, Google would want to train their model on the data they have. But there's data that Microsoft has, there is data that Apple has, and so because Google can only train with the data it has, its model is going to be different when Microsoft trains with its own data, because it's not almost the same data across these companies. But when we say, no, guys, this is the bubble, this is the era, give us data. So you find that I have all the data that belongs to Apple, Microsoft, Google, everywhere. Okay? And so now we have much bigger and powerful large language models. So this is Google in the industry, and it's been the pioneer of this whole thing about generative AI. Okay? And that's why they're taking this initiative to have campaigns like this. So we can talk about this. So 2015, we had the AlphaGo. So AlphaGo was the first attempt at having a large language model. And 2016, we had being able to help diagnose or detect eye diseases. 2017, that was the year, whatever is happening right now, whether it is ChatGPT, whether it is Mistral, whether it is what, they all center on the research that was developed by Google in 2017. They published the research paper called Attention is All You Need. You can search it, Attention is All You Need. So that paper, that research paper, is how every company has been able to develop their own large language model. Why? Because the paper introduced us to the transformer technology or the transformer architecture. I've talked about neural networks, right? So you just build one neural network. It could be with one layer, it could be with 100 layers, but it's still one pipe, right? So the transformer architecture combines many neural networks. You build an independent neural network to do sentiment analysis. I combine it with the one doing entity extraction. I combine it with the one doing summarization. I combine it with one doing, auto-completion. And then I merge those neural networks together. So I build a transformer. You know how transformers work for people interested in electricity. But well, if you don't know how to work, you can still go and touch it and see. So that is how the transformer architecture came in. And that was because of Google. And so after 2017, every company that had the capability and resources and saw that paper, they started running towards what we have today. Okay. So we have the text-to-text transfer, the LLM 10 billion parameter model that was open sourced in 2019, that is TS. Then we had Lambda. Okay, we had Lambda in 2020. We have the AlphaFold in 2022. And then we had BAM2 in 2023, last year. And now we have 2024 with a very big family of large language models, okay? And we'll be talking about those later. So now, multimodality. I've talked about it already, that previously when large language models would just generate text, right now they can generate images, they can generate audio, they can generate videos. Probably we'll have another bit of what it can generate in the near future. But for now, they are able to generate this is text, audio, images, and videos, all through the transformer technology. And so you have an image decoder that will pick up the text, because we are interacting with large language models through text, through prompts. I give it a prompt, I write something, then if it's going to generate an image, that means that prompt that is trying to tell it to generate an image is going to pass through the image decoder. That's how you have an image. If the text prompt is going to, it's just to generate text, a story, or ask a question, or to complete something, then to go through the text decoder. So the same is happening for videos and audios. Okay. So welcome to the Gemini era under Google. This is the era that we are in. And so the Gemini models start with Ultra. This is one of the biggest and most advanced models. They are not yet available. They are available in the Google AI Studio and Vertex AI, as we will demonstrate. And then we have also the Pro, the Gemini Pro 1.5 right now. That's the version. It's also available for Google AI Studio and Vertex AI. And then we have the Nano. So the Nano is for people who want to build mobile apps. So you are a mobile app developer, you want to build an Android app, and you want to incorporate Gemini. So for you have to use the Nano version. But there is a downside to it right now, that Nano is supported by the latest Android phones. So that would be the Pixel 7, Pixel 8, Samsung S23 and S24, and all that. So if you have Infinix and Itel, sorry, we shall come back to it. Yeah. So now, the whole technology behind how Gemini works, okay, how it was trained, how it is able to generate the text, the images, the audios, and everything. As Gemini, it is owned by Google. They know how it works by Google. But Google is a company that is open source first, or puts things out there for other people to use. I mean, I just said this whole era that we are in is because they published a paper. They could have said, no, we are not publishing this. This is our own deal. And where would we be? OpenAI would never have been born. We wouldn't have Llama or these other things. So what Google did is the whole capability of Gemini is bundled up in what we call Gemma. So that whole model that enables you to generate the text that you generate is actually now open. The whole code is open, and there are the Gemma open models. And you can get them here at ai.google.dev Gemma. So you can pick which model. They are in sizes. I think we have about like 70 billion parameters. to 300 something like that. They go in sizes. Okay, so you can get this model and do it with whatever you want to do with it. You have the code. If you have the resources, your computers, they can they can support it in trying to run it. Then you have access. Okay, so the Gemini ecosystem comes with consumers for people who just want to use Gemini in writing their letters, coming up with balance sheets, coming up with research projects, and all that. That is basically for consumers. And then so for those people who want to consume, there is a mobile app on Android. You can go to Play Store, you find it. You can just type in gemini.google.com, you will get it on web. And Gemini is also already in your Gmails, in your Google Docs. For those who have done emails, you will see something like help me write. Okay, so the help me write is auto-generated. You start writing, maybe you want to write something to your lecturer, and then Gemini will pick it up, refine it, and you have a very good email. So for developers, we have access to the Gemini API that is either within the Google AI Studio or it is within Vertex AI. So if you want to develop now, you don't want to be a consumer, you want to develop a website that uses the capabilities of Gemini, you have the Gemini API. If you want to do it in mobile or on hardware components, then you have the Gemini API. And then for businesses, of course, this is in the Google Workspace and Google Cloud and Vertex AI. So that is it for me about, for now, about generative AI, about Gemini, and I just hope that you picked something about it. I could take just one or two questions, and then my colleague will come in with the demonstration. Any question? Just one or two before I go. Yes.
My question was about the app development. So my question was about the app development. So I was asking, when you develop an app using this Gemini what?
API.
Yeah. Isn't it like in an unsafe place? Like okay, for example, like website that is developed by coding from scratch, is it the same as the one for the code for the AI?
Okay. Your question is a bit mixed up, but I'll refine it in two ways. So you would probably be asking about, I can sit down and write my code. I will ensure its security features are tight because it's my code. I've written it and I'm now deploying my website. And so I know that should it break down, I know probably where it may have broken down or whether it's a mobile app. And now we have these large language models that are generating the same code. So when I use that code, it's my website safe. Do I understand that code? If I deployed it, will then someone capitalize on that and probably break into my website or my mobile application? Well, that depends on how efficient you are as a programmer. Okay, because even when you're writing the security updates, you can still get the same code that you're writing is still what Gemini will give you. The point is, you don't still have to write it from scratch. What you could have taken 2 days or even a week writing, Gemini gives it to you in 2 minutes and you get through the code, you refine it to what you want to do. But on the other side of your question, what probably you want to have answered is I've built my mobile app, and then inside the mobile app, I have this Gemini API that I don't host, that I don't control. So you bundle up your mobile application and give it to me as your user, and then probably your app is to for me to ask questions, probably, or to autocomplete images, I mean stories or text, or probably for me to take images and then it tells me what is within that image. But remember, you need to build the model like we've always been doing. You just go to the API, go to this access. Now, yourself, because this model comes with terms and conditions, and it has one of the highest regards to privacy issues. So when I get my text in your mobile app that is using Gemini, and I put in my text, I put in my question, that question is going to go through the API. So an API is a gateway. It's going to go through the API, go to the model where it is, gets the response, and then brings the response to me. Now, in that back and forth, in that pipeline, yourself, yourself. There is no way. You may be afraid that they're going to steal my data, they're going to know about my people, what is my mobile application. Maybe someone will try to intercept that pipeline and hack into my application. That's not really possible. So I hope that answers. Any other question? And then we. Okay. Yes.
What do you think would be the limitation of applying a model and then also
Applying the model and building the model. Okay. That may take me a full PhD to answer, but this is what I was saying. It is still possible, and it is possible that we are still building our own models. You want to build a model that predicts grades of students. You want to build a model that will tell you the traffic, give you traffic updates in Kampala. You can build that model, and it will work just fine. The limitation to it, you building it, is you do not have the data. For instance, if you wanted to build a model that is going to predict the grades of all the students in this lab, you have the data. No, you don't. Probably you may try to reach out to the department or to the faculty. They will tell you, no, we can't give you our students' data for you to train that model. So you're limited in terms of data. But also, for you to train an efficient model, you're going to need a lot of compute power. Your computer has to be fine, or you're going to get access to a server to train a very good model. And for instance, the power that it takes for you to train Gemini is trained for over 2 months, non-stop. 2 months, non-stop. They are learning and learning and learning. All right. Now, the other downside of now using it, so what helps is that the problem you want to solve has been incorporated in this model. Okay? You want to do sentiment analysis. What do? You go to Twitter, you scrap data, or you go to a website, you scrap data, you train your model. Gemini has already been trained on that very data that you want. So what do? You do what we call transfer learning. What has been taught here can be applied in your context. Okay? If Gemini has to generate an image of a dog, and you also want to do the same, the question is why? Why should you do the same? It's been done here. Just apply and make things easier. However, the downside is because these models we are using are being trained on very big data, they face a problem that we call hallucinations. Okay? They've been trained on a lot of data. So sometimes you want to ask them specific data. You want to ask them something about Kabale. And the model is like, what did I learn about Kabale? It will tell you Kabale. So it will start making up things. Kabale is the capital city of Uganda. Like, really? Is it the capital city? So it has a lot of data. So it has that thing of, we've always talked about this about our fellows. And for you, suffering from knowing too much. So it's the same thing that happens to models. So when you want to use it in the local context, it may not give you accurate data, but it will help you. So to solve that, there are two things we do. We do transfer learning, which is essentially fine-tuning the model. Maybe someday I could come around and we'll talk about fine-tuning the model. You have this large model, and your problem is this small. So how do I get the large model to work on my small problem? All right. Yeah. So yes, let me wind up this. Okay. So you're not going to develop an app using the API. You're going to develop the app using Gemini in this way. When you go to Gemini, at that point you're a Boshima and you want it to generate that code. Now, like for instance, your app has like 5 screens: login, create an account, home, the buttons, and all that. That is your app. And you want to build it in a record time because essentially you have to write that code yourself. I want to build it in a record time. So you go to Gemini and you say, can you please give me code that is going to generate for me login screen? Then it will give you the code. You pick the code, put it in your Android Studio. And then you can refine it to what you want, right? Okay. So it takes shorter time when you're doing that, but also it means you need to know what you're doing because you will copy code and maybe it runs something different and you don't know how to debug it. Then, if that mobile application is now to do with prediction, you want to incorporate in AI within that. For instance, you're building an app for people to order food. Okay, you guys are here, the town is the other side. You want people here to have an app where they can just order for food and it's delivered right in this lab. Now that is okay, but at some point you may be like, you know what, I want to add in AI, and this AI will help me learn and understand that what does she order for every day. Okay? So for instance, the client may want to know that this lady has always been taking Katobo. So that is my Katobo client. She should be there. I must always have this Katobo. Else I will lose her as a client. So you want to incorporate in AI to learn your behavior. What do these people order? At what time do they order? Okay? So that kind of understanding, that's when you now bring in the Gemini API. The API will give you access to the machine learning arsenal that you need in your app. Essentially, you will develop your app and then also develop the model that is doing that exactly, the learning and prediction. But now this time around, you have to build your app and then just simply connect the API and tell it what to do. You tell it, no, I want just predictions for traffic. I need to keep showing traffic updates in your app. So you don't have to go and start asking the traffic officers, how many cars pass here, sir? Then you come and train your model. Last one, please. We need to get into this. Thank you.
What? Okay, what I was asking is, can I use either Gemini or Bing to create an AI application?
The moment you get your app and you're incorporating the Gemini API, you're opening a back door to AI. That AI that is behind does summarization, does entity extraction, does generation of images, does storytelling, does if it's already supported by audio, it means you can generate audio, you can generate images. That's the AI, that's Gemini. Then we have the API. The API is the gateway that is making you connect to it. So you have your app here. The moment you connect it, you have access to what you want it to do. And so your app, the people using your application will be able to do. If you've chosen to do entity extraction, that's what they will do in your app. But you will not have developed the AI. Google has done that for you. If you just want to build an app, I don't know if you guys may be able to remember, but I suppose that happened when you guys probably were in school and all that at that point. In 2016, 15 or 16, we had a very popular app called, I think, Face App. So first up, at that point, we will give it an image, and then it tells you how you will look like when you're old, or how you could have looked like when you were young. Okay? And let's say that is your own context, so that's your own problem, that's what you want in your application. But you don't want to develop the capability that makes it get an image and turn it into someone old, or get an image and turn someone into a young person. You don't have that capability, so you don't want to build that capability. All you just want to do is build the app. Now, when you need the capability, that's when you get access to the API and then ask it to give you that power. You now understand it. So let's get into Gemini. I'll come back with prompt engineering and then we'll get more questions. All right? Okay. And I'll be around to assist you for him because it's going to be on the computer. So I'll be moving around to see what you guys are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Kamali, for the fantastic session. Let us have on the table when we are starting. We are going to have a funny game. And I invite Mr. Kasson is going to take turns during the game. And remember, the winner will win. Thank you. Good afternoon once again. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Weasley for the wonderful presentation. Who's ready to play the game? By show of hands, who's ready to play the game? It's a very fantastic game, and at the end of the game, we are going to get 2 winners. They said we have a lot of stickers, but the lucky one will go with very many stickers, if not all of them. So, we shall have a game. The first winner will get, these are 4 stickers. I think they will get 6 stickers. Then the second winner will get 4, and then the third winner will get 2. So this is how the game is going to be. You just go into your browser and type kahoot.it. Kahoot, Kahoot.it. And then after you put in, they will ask you to put in that pin. You have to put in a pin, right? So you enter that pin. You enter this pin, and then you type in any name of your choice. So you see people are typing Obote, Ami, Ubu. So you choose any name. Are we at par? Yes, I see some progress. Continue joining, please. When you're done, you tell me. I start the game. Yeah, players are going on. Continue joining, please. If you get any trouble, you consult your neighbor or raise up your hand. So they are going to be awarding you points. Each question you answer, points. We see the leaderboard, who is reading, who is leading. We see who is paying attention, who has not. After, we get some gifts. I'm also seeing here Mr. Weasley brought some pens here, key holders. So, you never know, in the next Kahoot, you may even win a laptop. Just pay attention. So, 18 players. Are we good to go? We are all in. Who is not in? Please get in. We are out of time. Anyone who's not in yet? You're not in. Are we following? Who's not in yet? We are in, right? Okay, I think I should start the video. We are starting, right? Okay, those who haven't joined, you just watch. You've reached the limit. Okay, I'm starting the game. So, this is it. There are two things. You get the answer right, you're fast. You might have the answer, but if you're not fast, you may not get the points. So, it is a matter of speed and the answer. It's not about the right answer. It's also about the speed. So, you must be very fast on selecting the answer, right? Should we go? Ready? All right. I'll start it. So, 2, 1, go. What is today's session about? That's question number 1. You answer. You click on the right answer and it will submit. You click on any answer you feel is right. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Time out. So, this is the Jamil was the right answer. 7 people got it right. Thank you. But there are some people who are saying it is Python programming. Someone had we are talking about Python programming today. Thank you. Oh, okay. So that is it. Let's see. We go to the next. This is the leaderboard. Obote is the leader now with 823 points. I think the leaderboard will change in a few minutes. Let us wait and see. So let's go to the next question. Are you ready? Okay, go. Okay. What is generative AI? Da-da-da. What is generative AI? Remember, it's also a matter of speed. You have to be speedy. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Obote is nowhere to be seen. The leaderboard has changed automatically. So Shella is on top, right? Yeah? Okay. Ready? We go for the next one. Already? It's not about the correct answer, it's about speed, right? Okay. What is LLM in full? What is LLM in full? Seconds are going. 9, 8, 2, 1. Okay. Let us see the leaderboard. Woo! Chela has remained. Wow. And P is upgrading. Obote is also coming back. It's a tight race. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Roses are red and violets are brown. True or false? Roses are red, violets are brown. True or false? Okay. Woo! Ah, okay. Many people are saying it is true. Okay. Let us see. Wow. Chela has the highest answer streak. He has remained. Okay. And no one has improved. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following is true about GitHub? We talk about GitHub. What did you hear about GitHub? What's that you heard about GitHub in today's session? You go. Okay. Let's see the leaderboard. Oh. People had different things. Ah. Okay. Ooh. Ah. What is coming? We are seeing an improvement. Chela, what is coming for you? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Classical language problems include the following. We have entity extraction, music, language, communicating. What entity, what class natural language problem did they talk about that you had? Those who were attentive. Okay, it is done. Let's see the leaderboard. Oh! Oh my God! Everything has changed. Chela, what has happened? Okay, let's go. It's a matter of speed, remember? It's not about the right answer, it's a matter of speed. Okay, let's go. Who invented transformers that kick-started the LLM revolution? Jamin, OpenAI, Microsoft, Google. So, who? Gemini. Okay. You have to be fast. Okay. Woo! So Microsoft did get a customer. Okay. Most of you got it correct. Okay. Obata is back. Obata too. Okay. Let us see the next one. All right. Which Jamin version is used to develop mobile apps? Let us see. This is the last question. Okay, we're going. We have Ultra, we have Pro, Android API, we have Nano. So which one? Okay, time up. Time up. Let us see the podium. Number 3, Chela. Clap for Chela. It's number 3. Obata number 2 and number 1. Woo! Out of the blue. So our winners, come here for your gift. Come here. Let us get Karut, Obata and Chela. Come in front for your gift. You go inside there. If you're not Obata, please don't come. Okay, I think you can now take the gifts. Others, thank you for playing. Let's prepare for the next one. We still have one more. Never know. Okay, thank you for playing. Let's wait for the next one. Number 1 is Karut. Who is Karut? Okay, Karut was very attentive. Then number 2 was Okote. Obote was also very attentive. Okay, then Sheila number 3. Okay, thank you all for playing and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kasu. I think you guys have enjoyed it and expecting more. We are going in for the second presentation or facilitation, and we are going to see a group of Mr. This is Mr. Motoka, and Carol.
Uh, is it already evening? It's good afternoon. Awainos in Muntu. I'm a student at Master, doing my final year in computer science, and of course, I'm going in the lineage of artificial intelligence. That's machine learning mostly. So I can be AI engineer or ML engineer. So today I'm going to talk about something I've been using for some good time now, and that is Gemini API. Uh, Essentially, I will talk about generating APIs, those ones who want to do access Gemini through code, and then I will create just and save prompts in Google AI Studio, and then I will show you. Today I will not do it because it takes time, but I will show you if you want to customize your models or fine tune. There is that side. So basically, I'm going to explain how you can prototype, in Google AI Studio. So first of all, here, of course, like we said at the start, I think almost all of us here we are having Google accounts, right? So you will head to your browsers right now and then use that link down here. Use a link down there that is there, and then you open it. If they ask you to sign in, you sign in, and then you get that interface. When I'm sure that almost everyone has reached that stage, and then I'll continue and show you how you can generate first API, how you can generate APIs first, and then how you can use this one to prototype. Oh, this guy will explain everything visually that is on that screen.
Okay, for people who are getting into the AI studio for the very first time, you will have to choose the part where you click on new prompts, okay? And then second, you have to accept the terms and conditions. Unfortunately, you don't have time to read them, but You just have to accept them. Okay? So let's make that quick. Just accept the terms and conditions. There are new prompts. Then accept the terms and conditions for that list. Then you click on continue. And then for you to be able to save your prompts and return to them anytime you want, you could rename. There's that part untitled prompts. So you could name it something that always come back to it and have multiple prompts. If you get a challenge, just let me know. She can help you.
So let me hope everyone has reached this stage, right?
Yes.
So if you want to use Gemini API in your code, let's say you want to access it via code, we will request you to be having what we call an API. So get API keys from Google AI Studio, and this is how you get the APIs. Just after you open this window, you go to just get API key, and then you tap on it. Because here I already have an API already, but there is that create API. So when you click on it, of course they will tell you this. It's good to read through, as I know very many don't. So you say got it, and then has everyone reached there? So yeah, I have different projects that I've been working with. That means
Guys, those who are trying to access using their Cavalry, must be emails. Your organization does not have access to the Google Workspace. So you have to ensure that you need to sign it with your personal Gmail. Your personal Gmail. This should be. So this is Cavalry. When you try to access the Google AI Studio, it will not give you access because your organization here does not have access to that.
You got to create new one. Just like so.com.
so. How far is that? So there is something little. Those ones who have already reached there is something little that you have first to do. This one has changed in that previously you would just get an API straight, but now it requires you to be having a project in Google Cloud. So here they have written the link that says the credits for this event built with AI. So if you have already reached there, you open a new tab and then you put in that link. The link that is here. I don't know if everyone sees here, but the link that is here. Alright. So you run it, you sign in, and then it will take you to the Google Cloud Console.
And so the other thing you guys need to know is this. If it's your first time that you're entering into the Google Cloud Console, right? It's probably your first time. Google is going to give you what we call cloud credits, and it's always to a tune of $300. The cloud credits help you work on your projects. Okay, so this is Google Cloud. You have to pay for it, but because you're new, you're going to get $300 valid for 3 months. Please, after here, they are used to utilize and do your projects. You could do your final year projects and utilize Google Cloud. Those credits will come in. Don't just you do it right now and then disappear, because Google will take the credits to you. Okay. So there is an issue. I need to tell you going to help us with that. So there is going to be an issue that for the first timers who are trying to access the Google console, you will need, on top of having the $300 given to you for free, Google needs that you set up your own payment details. That means you have to go to your credit card or debit card. I know you guys have those cards with you right now. Now, so to avoid that, Google is going to give you, or you're going to get a billing account, we call them billing accounts, that has $5. And that is from the link that Philip has filled. Let me have the other link, the one that you are given yesterday. That is the link that you need to go to directly to get $5. So that is the shortened link up there. This particular link here is what you will get $5, and you will not need to put in your credit card details. So this ones are successfully in. So now you need to go to select points.
Okay, how many of you have been able to access your Google Consult? How many? Okay.
Itself. And then they will process the $300 to you. And you can use it. Now you have to be careful because once the $300 end, you do send it to start. So once the $300 end, then you start charging. Or if you don't use the $300 after 3 months, and then you come someday and you now want to do some projects that is not entirely free. There are some projects within the cloud also that are free, and there are some processes that you have to pay for, right? So finally, for instance, you want to make a request to the database. So each request is being billed at $0.00002. The 0.002 may not say something that you will not use. But as people start making the requests, then it piles up to $1, $2, $3, and then they charge you money. So you have to be there. I've ever done something in Google Cloud. I was dealing with SQL in Google Cloud. I created a database, I read everything that I was running. Then I forgot to delete the project. After 1 month, I had a bill for $78. You have to be careful with yourself. Guys, I hope that we are set. The center is this drawn.
So I think all of us are now have reached this stage and they have been able to pick any project. Now take this and then say generate NDRE. You come here after you've done that long stuff, okay? You go here. You go here where there will be. When you press it, it will take you to this. It will take you to this window, and then you come here and say create the ID. Okay? And then you come here, you will choose a project, because you will choose a project. Sending it in Google Cloud Console, it gives you that my first project. So if you don't find it there, you are going to find generative language client. So you choose any of the projects that will be there, and then say create key in existing projects. So it will run and it will generate this key. But as they say, you're not supposed to share this, because when you share it, you're sharing it at your own payload. And also, you're supposed to copy it. You're going to use it somewhere, which is going to take you through that when time for best prompting comes. Okay. Now, what you are going to do doesn't require this one at the moment, but you're supposed to keep it safe. Okay. So, I think everyone is here. I think we are clear there. I think I can continue and we go to the most interesting things. Okay? So here we have two Gemini models. We have the one that came first, that is Gemini 1.0, and then we have Gemini 1.5. Okay, so in this video, we are going to use two of them, but basically I will use 1.5 because it's the most interesting one. So after you've done the API stuff, you go to create new. Okay, now we are going to create a new prompt. What we are going to create with, and then say create a new prompt or chat prompt, or there is free form and then there is structured form. But let's go for the chat prompt. Okay, so this is what General was talking about. Here you come and choose the model you want to use. Here they are providing, they don't provide Ultra, they provide Pro, the one that you access via Gemini API. I think everyone has used that. We have one thing about 1.5 is like you can put literally the whole book of 500 pages in that prompt and it will do you will ask anything in that book and it will give you an answer. That's the most interesting thing. Because in that Gemini model of 1.5, okay, it takes in what we call 1 million tokens. Okay, now you take tokens as watts. Okay, so when you come here, literally you can type over 1 million words. Okay, and you send a prompt. And it's going to analyze that one and give you a feedback of whatever you'll be asking. Okay, that means that you can upload various things. That's where we will be able to upload an image. Of course, when you upload an image, it's changed into tokens. You can upload a video, you can upload an audio, you can also upload a file, and you ask anything about all those things that you uploaded. Okay. Gemini 1.0 Pro. Here you see you only upload a file. That is the version they give you. The reason is it takes very few tokens. When you look at here down, they are showing review. They are showing you only 30,720 tokens. Those are the amount of what they can take. But when you go to Gemini 1.5, you see you have 1 million tokens. Okay, so we are going to use the latest one of 1.5 to demonstrate what you can do in Google AI Studio. Okay, so here we'll just start with a basic input. The way how you open your ChatGPT or Gemini app and you ask whatever you want to ask, okay, and get a reply. Maybe I can ask what you know about Kauri University. The problem here is not understanding what Kauri is. I think I need to choose another prompt here. What should I ask? Just idea. No. Let's have that information. I want you to give the information that you already type in ChatGPT or Gemini. What is? Okay. This
Maybe that
so basically, it is going to give you like the way how you go to ChatGPT or Gemini and you ask that question. It's going to give you that answer. It is here. Okay, everything is going to be here. But obviously, this is not what you want to do with it. Okay, so we are going to look at the part of modality as it is able to take in data in various forms. Okay, because this is a minor part of it. So we are going to look at different images. Okay, I know there you may not be having the recent ones that have been pulled from Drive, but you can use the sample. The way how you can upload a video, you can ask it anything. Now I ask it, what is this? Is there anyone who knows what this is? This building. Anyone?
It is theater, something like that.
Yeah, it was a theater, but it has its names. Or where it is called.
Athens, Greece. Athens, Greece.
No, we shall find out. Okay. So now I'm going to ask, what is this? Okay. Just you upload a pic and you ask it whatever you want to ask it. Now I will say, what is this? So they say the image that I provided is that consortium. I don't know if it is the proper pronunciation of that word, but it is in Rome and it is in Italy. And it was used as a theater, as you say, but it has just worn out and everything. So you can ask it any other question, like who built that stuff. So basically, you remember I have not provided anything. You have just provided a picture, okay, an image. But you're able to ask. What is this? Now you have known it. Okay, you want to continue asking more questions. Okay. Now I asked who built it. Okay. Of course, you see it has been able to provide a correct answer. Right now, if you go and look about that, they will tell you it was. Yeah, they will give you that the same information that is there. Okay, but remember, you just uploaded an image. So here is the most interesting thing. What are those ones who always write their notes on paper using a pen or a pencil? And you feel like I should convert this stuff and I put it into maybe something that is written. Like something like on computer, instead of typing it, you want that immediate solution. In that you can convert your picture or your notes in form of an image and you get whatever that is written on that image that you have uploaded. This was just an image for just a place. So we are going to use an image to maybe notes. Okay. Here there is so here is just a simple note. Okay. I think this is not a very good handwriting, but it's just a note. Okay. So you want to convert this one and you instead of typing it, you want to convert it immediately and you get what is written there. Okay. So let's see if this Gemini 1.5 can do that for us. So instead of you typing your notes, you just use Gemini to do that one for you. So I've said rewrite what's written on that. So let's find out. So this is it. Okay. What was written the other side? Exactly. It is what is. It is what they have given me. So instead of typing, I've just uploaded an image with unwritten stuff, and then I've asked Gemini to write the stuff that is there. The system design, or you have come across maybe a system design picture on the internet, and you want to know what exactly is that system doing. Okay, I'll come for questions. What that system is doing. Okay, so instead of you suffering, okay, you just pick that image, okay, you upload it to Gemini and you ask whatever question you want to ask it, okay. So here I'm going to use the system design of my final year project. So basically that is it, okay? Now imagine you come across that stuff on the internet and you want to know more about it, okay? So what do? You be like, maybe explain this, okay? Right? So when you have that one, you can just ask just simple questions in your natural language. Maybe explain this. So basically they have been able to tell me, because this is what I'm doing. I'm doing a pest disease detection using AI, and it has been able to recognize that that's the system I'm building, okay? And it has gone ahead and told me like things. So can Gemini tell me, or can he tell me that place? So that's what we're going to do. It is a picture